I have a picture of a pig. So this one can be pretty hard, I know, because it's just like, okay, it's a pig. It's just standing there. What kind of adaptation does it have? Pigs don't normally camouflage because they're a pink color, so we know it's not camouflaging. It's definitely not a plant. We know that pigs don't really run very fast, although some pigs can. Um, and it's not really eating anything, so we can't say that, we're talking about its mouth. But mainly thing I want you to look at is its feet, okay? And this is going to be put under a feet adaptation because pigs have hooves, and the reason why they have hooves is because the environment that they live in, it allows for them to be able to run fast or to be able to walk and support them, right? All right, here is an otter. Sorry I couldn't find a cute picture of an otter. Okay, so looking at this otter, what kind of adaptation does this otter have for it to survive? Yeah, some of you guys would say that it has webbed feet, and it does. Remember that otters mostly live in the water, so in order for it to swim around, it has to have webbed feet. So it's feet adaptation. This one might be tricky. Not really. I'm just kidding. But yes, this is plant adaptation. But notice how this is a very large tree. And remember when we talked about plant adaptation, that plants, when they're in a group like this, they're in competition for the sunlight. So they grow very tall in order to get more sunlight. So this is what this tree is doing here. All right, I have a picture of a cat. And the cat is showing its claws. So what form of adaptation do you think this is? Right, it should be feet. Feet adaptation because it is using its claws, which is considered its feet. Right? This one might be a little bit tricky, but it is a group of penguins moving. Although it looks like they're just standing there, though. But this picture I wanted to show you is migration. So if I showed you birds, it would be easy for you to know that they were migrating. But I also wanted to show you that different animals migrate as well. And penguins are one of the different animals that migrate because where they're at, it gets super cold, and normally fish also migrate as well. So those fish are going to move to somewhere that's a lot warmer. And since they move, the penguins have to move too. So this is temperature adaptation. This one is easy. So we have a chameleon, which is a form of lizard. And what is it doing? Yep, it is camouflaging itself within the leaves. So it is a defense adaptation. We have 3 more. I'm just going to put 2 of these together because all 3 of these actually. Okay. So I have an alligator, I have a shark, and I have a cow that is chewing on some grass. And what do you think these all have in common? Yes, we are talking about mouth adaptation, right? Because the shark has sharp teeth, so does the alligator, and the cow is a herbivore, so it has flat teeth so that it can chew its grass. So this goes all under mouth adaptation. All right, so what's an activity if I didn't have questions for you, right? So I'm going to move this. I don't want to put that there. Let's move this real quick. Alright, here are my questions. Okay, the first So it says to pick one animal or plant, then answer the questions. So out of these, pick one of them, and then we're going to answer the question. So you can pause it if you need to. All right. So I'm going to pick the owl. Okay, I'm going to pick this owl and I'm going to answer these questions. I just want to put my owl here. All right, so what is this organism's adaptation? So when we talked about the owl, what adaptation did it have? A defense adaptation, right? So we can say owl has defense adaptation. Okay, our second question is, why do you think it has a specific adaptation? And remember when I was explaining it to you, we talked about how not only is it a predator, it's also a prey. So maybe it uses its camouflage for both. Maybe it uses it to catch prey and also to hide from predators, right? So we can say uses its adaptation to catch prey and hide from predators. Okay, so number 3, if it was born without this adaptation, what would happen? So if it didn't have the adaptation to camouflage or defense, what do you think would happen to this owl? Right, so we can kind of go with question 2. So we know that it wouldn't be able to survive, right? It would be eaten by predators. So we could say it would be eaten by predators. And we also know that, maybe or may not, it may have a hard time catching prey. And may have a hard time catching prey. Okay? Now, number 4 says compare this organism to a different organism who has a different adaptation. All right? So I'm going to take the ostrich and compare it with the owl. Right? And when we compare, we think about the differences and the similarities, okay? So, are there any similarities to an owl and a ostrich? Well, did you know that an ostrich is actually considered a bird? It's a large bird. So an owl is considered a bird and an ostrich is considered a bird. So there's kind of within the same species, right? So that could be a similarity. Even if you couldn't think of one, we could say that they are both birds. All right. The difference could be that, ostriches don't necessarily fly, but owls fly too. Also, ostriches are larger than owls, right? And their adaptations are different too, because do you think an ostrich would be able to camouflage better than an owl? Do you think an owl is faster than an ostrich? Although owls fly, they're not necessarily fast birds, okay? They're kind of not slow, but in that range of being slow. So there are several differences and similarities with these, okay? So that's all that I have for you today. I mean, I try to make this a short video, but science is very lengthy. So I hope you enjoy. And again, sorry that I can't go live because as you hear, my son is here and it would not be possible. So I'll see you guys next video, and I hope that you are actually learning something while we're going through this whole online learning thing. So, bye.